Are you ready for the return? Yes, I have a different mask. Do you remember? That's the mask I wore a long time ago. But I made some modifications. I made some delightful modifications. I added some room for my nose. Can you see that? Yes, so my nose, I need to be able to breathe, even though in this mask I'm still somewhat restricted in my breathing movements, but I dare say I look rather dashing now, don't I? You know, it's a lot more reflective. I like to customize my masks. I like to customize my wardrobe. As you can see, I am wearing green for today, and I will go into that in a minute. But hello, all of you. Hello to another video. Hello to your host. It is I, Mediaphile, your lord, your ambassador. For all of the rejects, for all of the nobodies who feel as though they have no place to call home, no place for safe refuge, no place that they may call a safe haven, or even a house. But welcome to my house, baby. I'm just joking. No, I'm so happy because all of you are here. And I just remembered that I forgot to tell you the other things I did when I was in Florida. The Cleveland of the South. It honestly is. Except it's a lot more tropical and it's a lot more, you know, what's the word? Accepting. But seriously, I am so happy to be here with all of you. All of my lords, ladies, mushrooms and clams, as well as my rats and freaks. Welcome all of you. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm going to go into a few things, not too much. I will talk about why I'm wearing the green thing, why it is a significant color from where I come from, at least during this time of year. Now, usually during, a little bit after what I'm about to tell you, but this is something that is very, you know, very nice, very educational. And I like talking about myself. Who does it? You know, whatever. But I'm so happy. So, first of all, I finally have a day off where I can just unwind and relax. Work has been, you know, a little bit demanding, but those sort of things are, you know, expected when you work where I work. But I don't even know if I've shared it to you, or perhaps I will, perhaps I won't, whatever. But anyways, before I get into the meat and bulk of the subject, I'm going to go into some things I forgot to mention. So, first of all, the time when I was out traveling to Florida, I wasn't completely... oh my god, what is this? Hold on. Okay, that's better. That's better. So I wasn't completely honest with all of you. I wasn't just in Florida or I was anywhere else. I was actually I was attending I don't want to say cabal because that has negative connotations. I was attending a ceremony in which a friend of mine was entering into the cult of Magda. Yes. You already know what I'm going to say about it. It's reason I was like, look, I'm going to show my support. You know I don't like those people. I do not support their ideals or anything else of that nature, but I'm here for you. However, what was interesting was that this was perhaps a neo-Magda cult. They still sort of held I believe the principles, you know, like the diet, let's be honest, a decaf. They were pretty much doing that. They were affiliated with Magda, but they have a different, I believe, iteration or perhaps vision than what the traditionalists have. They do believe that mages should work to strive to be the best they absolutely can be, but now they're saying that this did not mean for us to be, you know, the most dominant species on our planets, in our realm. It is meant so as to encourage us to be the best as we absolutely can be. They went a more metaphorical route, which I believe was, I guess, a bit better, but it still didn't mean anything. They were still filling it with Magda, you know, whatever. But it was this whole thing. I was there. They had the party. Magda, he said, you know, all that stuff. It's, oh my god, I swear. Oh, I thought I dropped my ring. No. It was one of these things. Okay. But no. So I went to that. Then afterwards, we had a small little tourney. A small little duel of which I came out victorious. Of course. it's natural for someone like me to come out on top. I know, I'm terrible. I'm not, but I did that. I actually got to ride a, oh my god, well, what's it called? It's called a cabalis. Now, a cabalis, it's like it's not legal. it's not legal. Don't tell anyone about, mate is back home. Turn off your camera. Okay, so a cabalis is essentially a horse and a lizard put together. It has it's a weird looking creature. Some would say it's ugly. I'm not going to lie to you, but it was a load of fun. You know, like it has the speed of a horse, but it is able to climb trees, go over terrain. It is absolutely insane what these things can do. And some of them are even capable of flight, believe it or not. And some of them, some of them have like these little wings that come out the sides, and then they jump over ravines. I was like, no! I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, no! I was about to cast a spell, and then I saw the wings pop out, and this is my set. I was like, no! I was so excited. I was so guilty about it. I was like, oh, hey! So stupid. I know, but it was so much fun. Oh, apparently they require some sort of permission from the council for these sort of things because it's for, it's for like and everything else like that. And they did trial runs and everything else, and they said that this wasn't an exact replica. These were a sort of golems, as it were. So technically, it was okay, but I don't know. I was on it, and it felt kind of real. So I'm not going to lie to you. But the Cabalas, I highly recommend it. I'm sorry. I can't recommend the Cabalas because it's illegal for me, to do that. But if you happen to be, I can't even tell you where I went, can I? Discord. Oh my god. I am choking from all of the drinks I have. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. That was so funny. But I'm sorry. But the Cabalas was a lot of fun. So after the Cabalas, I went back to my home to retire. And then I had a notice from the school, the academy. Do you remember a long time ago when I mentioned that I was volunteering to provide my educational services as a professor there? So this is what it is. Okay, I had a letter that came in the envelope that said, "Our dearest," they said my actual name, but I can't say it, so I'll say media file. "Our dearest media file, we are so elated to have you on board as one of our professors at the most esteemed magisterium this nation has to offer. We sadly bring to news that upon further inspection of your work and of your material, it would appear as though you may or may not be the most best fitted for your specific type of class or area. Instead, we recommend that you are then put in a different position outside of the curriculum. Furthermore, it also comes to our attention that you have in your possession a few items that we deem a bit unnecessary and perhaps even illegal. Regardless, we still long to have you as a very proficient professor outside of the field to train our young aspiring minds and majors in order to fight and present themselves out in the field, to prepare themselves for the outside world. We feel as though that is perhaps a better road for you to take as a professor at this most esteemed academy." Of course, they have to say these things. Then at the bottom, where it finished, it said this: "Now, to our most esteemed mediophile, please disregard all of what you read. We are simply doing a maintenance run, and this is what came out, and blah, 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 blah." So, I'm not getting fired, but then I received another letter in the mail later that said, "We would like for you to attend a meeting at the 100 Elders Summit." And I was like, I would have rather been fired. I hate being around old people. I don't hate old people, okay? I know almost every word that I'm saying, everything that I say is being taken extremely seriously. Most of these videos are for entertainment purposes. You know, fine. I am educating the masses. I'm educating the youngsters because they need to know the sort of messed up things that are happening. I've gone to school before. I've gone out of school. I've been going through life. Hold on, door's open. I've been going. I've been going through life, just living the best as I can, trying to uphold myself and the standards of my family, of my religion, so to speak. The religion of Pahalu and everything else. It is a lot to handle. Believe it or not, despite I know I've told you I'm over 200 years old, but I'm still fairly young in mage years. I still have so many more centuries to offer. Unfortunately, during this time span, I find myself in a bit of a rock and a hard place. I don't even know where to go, where I'm supposed to proceed. I don't know who I'm supposed to really talk to. That is why I'm making these videos. That's why I'm divulging myself to you, the masses. Because it would appear as though all of the rational people have left our society and have left us with people that are so emotionally compromised and, I suppose, immature, that even the slightest mention of anything that they deem hurtful, they want to put us in a box. I don't want to say cancel because that's a huge word. Everyone goes after it, but that's pretty much what's happening. And it is extremely frustrating having to deal with the amount of pressure to maintain an image. That's something that all of us could perhaps attest to. Even this mouse is giving me issues. Mostly because of the sweat, because I'm so hot. But no, it's already getting a bit warm in here, but that's besides the point. And I really don't mean to rant. This has nothing to do with what I'm going to talk about today. But it is frustrating because it seems like any method I do to push myself forward, to make myself available to the world, a part of my own world comes to derail me. And that is something that I do not find pleasing in the slightest. I've had one of the elders of my, I can't say cabal or cult, the elders of the believers were questioning whether or not the material that I am releasing out to all of you is appropriate for someone in my standing. And quite frankly, I don't know what to say about it. I'm going to still be uploading whatever. I'm simply venting out to you because I'm simply tired of it. I've been within this group of people for an exceedingly long amount of time, most of my young life. And so I am at a point right now at my age where I don't care anymore. I'm going to do what I want, of course within reason, and try to find myself, because that is all any of us can do. This is how the isolationists feel, the rejects feel. We feel somewhat rejected by society because of who we are, because of how we like to express ourselves. And yes, there are moments where it can be tasteful. But when you feel as though your character, your persona, your spirit itself is being subjugated under the usurping oppression of the masses, which we call society and even religious society, it can become a bit much. So I'm trying to do things in a way where it's not only productive for me, but for you as well. And I can help you progress in your life. So enough of that tangent. I'm really trying not to get into a rant because that is essentially how I feel. I can go into a long talk with this. I'm actually thinking about having a podcast or perhaps a conversation with other people who perhaps feel the same way I do. I'm sure all of you do as well. And that is not saying that the people within those certain societies are necessarily wrong. They grew up in it. They have no choice. They have no sense of self. That is all their belief is. They are told to believe these things because that's just the way things are. There is no measured rationale that can help distinguish the lie from the truth. You are simply supposed to run with the rest of society. Whether it is secular or no, both are exactly the same, it would appear. Which is extremely frustrating to me as a believer of the great divine spirit Pahalu. And honestly, a resident of the current society. So I'm having a lot of issues, a lot of dilemmas. But I am on here. I am strong. For the manner that Pahalu provides me is nourishing. It revitalizes me. It rejuvenates me. It makes me feel so much more, so much better. Every day I can feel brand new. And it is something that I encourage all of you to at least try a bit. I'm not one to, push my beliefs or faiths on anyone else. But if you are curious, go ahead. If you have questions about using passive magic or practicing it, please feel free to send it to me in the comments and I will help you as best as I can. So, Florida, quick thing. I went to the Harry Potter world. I know I talked about it before when I went to Islands of Adventure, whatever, in Florida. And yes, I spent a great deal of time there because I was exceedingly curious as to how the mundane portray us mage folk in society. And so I was there and I had an idea. Yes, I've been there before. Do things change? Of course they did. They actually added a new ride that I haven't been there before. It is the ride for Hagrid. The big... Apparently he's a giant. He is large for a man, but he's short for... or whatever. But it's a motorcycle one. That was a very good ride. But there's some things I would not recommend, like waiting in line for 2 hours. 2 hours waiting in line for a bloody ride that will last for maybe less than, I don't know, maybe 3 minutes. It was a very fun ride, but I wouldn't recommend waiting for 2 hours. 2 hours is not worth any ride. I endured pain, waiting. Could I have transported my... Yes, I could have, but I was around mundane. I couldn't do that. I'm not allowed. It's against the rules. Plus, they, it's insane. But anyway, I was there for a long time. I had a butterbeer. It was quite delicious. It was essentially cream soda with some sort of scotch foam on top or whatever. But it was delicious. And refreshing, surprisingly. I really hope this isn't mucus. I hope to God it's just sweat. It's sort of coming down the side of my nose, past from my nose. I am suffering from allergies, I suppose. The effects from being here for such a long time. Or is it spirits? Who knows? But, so, anyways, the significance of the green that I'm wearing. So, currently, right now, and right into the summer solstice that is happening, I believe, June 21st, or perhaps earlier this year, there's going to be a huge celebration from my realm. We call it, what's it called? The Verdacéla, or the Verdacéla. The Verdacéla is essentially a huge party dedicated to the coming of the green, of the abundance of life on planets within the realm. The Verdacéla is a celebration in which all races who are friends gather together in one area and they dedicate their time to, water. Just it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's essentially a huge celebration. You go there with your friends and family. You don't have to pay for anything. They have rides there if you like it. They have attractions there. It is all celebrating the coming of, I believe, the mature, or perhaps it's a sort of weird loose translation. I don't even know. Apparently, there's the green and then there's the party. As apparently, I believe our older generations were more familiar with it. But apparently there came a time when, the world was very dark and stuff. And so you have, of course, the spring equinox. We call that the, what's it called? The Verdacéla. The Verdacéla is a celebration of the coming of spring, when spring's here. The mages and I believe the people that practice here, the witches or whatever, they have a different celebration for the coming of the spring. I forgot what the hell it was called. I used to know it by whatever, but it's something like that. But anyways, the Verdacéla is a celebration of summer, of the green grass, the green trees, when all the vegetation is at its mature level, when it's not dying off, and when vegetation is mature, it is green. And so it brings a lot of nourishment, it brings a lot of health, it brings a lot of, nice cool feelings, especially during the summer. And, by extension, the places that were once barren before start to sprout trees. There are certain plants that can only grow within the summer. Yes, it happens in my room too. My God, who did that, I wonder? But, yes, so it is a celebration. Everyone there pretty much, you pretty much wear cool colors. The colors of summer. You can wear things like blues, things like yellows. Pretty much any color you want. But the most pervasive color that everyone wears is green. Now, green in my realm is somewhat of a very powerful and significant color. And in your realm, I believe in some cultures, they hold green to a certain high regard. And though it is a very common color, it is a sign of life, health, and abundance. And in some cultures, it is also a sign of riches because of resources and everything else. So it is a very good color. They have many different kinds of, shades of green. There's certain pairings with green. But at my festival, we did something special. So at my festival, we have flags like this, right? Flags like, well, not like this, it's from your realm, huh? But we have flags like this, and they're put in different areas, right? So we actually have a circle, a square, which is what it's called. That makes no sense to me. How can you call something a square if it's a... Never mind. But we have a circle. It is a gathering place. It is where we used to perform rituals of all kinds there. We sort of abandoned the old arcane and dark rituals that we used to do in the past, but this is what we do now. So essentially, we have flags like this, and they are suspended in between poles that go in a circular formation. So then within the circle, we pretty much draw a graph. Or perhaps, yes, a glyph. Something like that. We draw something like that, and then in the center of the glyph, we have a tree, right? And so, and I believe in the 8 parts of this... Okay. Sorry. The circle, right? We draw circles on the lines of the circle. It's large enough where we have 8 in total. The 8 is a significant number. I could go into more detail about it, but I'm just trying to run through this thing right now. So during that time, we have a tree, perhaps fully grown, perhaps not, and it could even be a seed. But usually, what we have is a barren tree that is then taken from a certain place, a certain region, that perhaps isn't bearing anything, and we put it within the center here. Okay? Then afterwards, we have 8 of the most willing volunteers of the people that know how to do this type of magic to stand in each circle within the circle itself. There has to be 8 total for the thing, for the thing to work. At that point, everyone stands in a circle like this, right? And then they hold their hands like this, sort of like in like a cup formation. And then they utter the words, Verdacéla, Verdacéla. Very, 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 very simple. Verdacéla, Verdacéla. So they pretty much say that. So they say that about 8 times. After the 8th time, they then bring their hands towards the center, where the tree or where the plant is at that is barren. Correct? So then afterwards, after they do this, they release mana from themselves to this barren tree. And as the tree receives the mana, the tree starts to burn. After the burning is done, the bark of the tree then falls off as ashes. And then what is left is a nice smooth bark. The bark then starts to twist a little bit till it gets to a higher spar. And then as it stops, some branches shoot out the side and then leaves pop where they are. And then they start stretching all the way down the spiral. Okay? The spiral is supposed to signify the escalation of humanity towards a higher plane of existence. Okay? But what it is doing that it is starting from the bottom. So you're essentially taking the world with you. Taking the essence of the ground, of the earth, along for the ride. You are walking, you are essentially escalating and climbing this large spiral staircase with nature, with the world, with your family, with your brethren. It is Verdacéla. It is new life. It is a celebration of the green, celebration of life itself. That is why it is so significant. That is why we wear the green, because it symbolizes life. And so in our festival, in our celebration, we then take the people who are within the circle and we hold them by their hands. We utter a few words. I can't remember because it's been ages since I've been to this festival. And then we essentially come together to the tree and we put our hands against it. We kiss the tree. We hug it or whatever. And then we say hi to each other. And then that starts the actual festival itself. Okay? And so then at the end of the festival, each of us, we take a lantern. Like this or whatever. Hi, green. No. So we pretty much take a lantern or any sort of, light fixture we have. And then we pretty much adorn the tree with that. And then the lanterns are supposed to stay lit. The tree is supposed to stay lit up until the summer equinox. The solstice. So when the summer solstice starts, that's when we're here. So it is a pretty much long thing. It's a pretty cool, celebration and everything else. But that's pretty much what I was doing, for the time. And it's still going on, by the way. People are still there. Woo! partying. You know, people are still getting adult. No, they're essentially drinking or whatever else, but they are gathering together. You know, they are dancing. All of that, all of those things, and so it's a time of celebration. And yes, the people who come from different religious societies are also welcome as well, because this was a founding. This was a founding faith all of us had before these other spirits or perhaps these other gods came into the picture. It was us in nature, it was us in magic, it was us in mana. And so mana, like, do you remember what I said before? Mana, when it is pure, flows like air. So when we are walking with nature, we are essentially walking with mana. We are flowing like the air. And when the air twists, what happens? It is a column of wind and power of mana. A tornado. That's pretty much what it is. But it is all symbolic and it all intertwines. It is amazing. Absolutely amazing. But no, seriously, this is something that I hope all of you could perhaps, take the time to realize. When does it start? So we still have the spring equinox. It has to start. I mean, we started a bit early, but then again, my realm runs at a different time than yours. But as soon as I believe the month of June comes around, or perhaps the week before the summer solstice, you're supposed to do this celebration. So it lasts for about 7 days. In my realm, our days are not 7 for a week. I believe we have less. Or is it more? I don't know. Like I said, we run at a different time. But this is something that is truly extraordinary. And so, I mean, if all of you want to do this, you're more than free to do so. But it is something that's supposed to help you, remember, to recollect that, all of us are family. We are all here. And we all depend upon the world that we live in. We all depend upon the green. We all depend upon the world. We all depend upon life, the vegetation, the trees that essentially give you the oxygen and everything else. It's not. Look, I'm not a globalist. I'm not a person that's a tree hugger or anything else. But you have to take these things into account. Everything that has life essentially has mana. And so mana walks with life like this. And then sometimes mana even fuses itself with life. But we have to realize that mana itself flows like wind. It flows like life. Life is ever seething. Life is ever changing. Just like the currents of the wind. So when we are walking with the wind, when we are walking with the mana, we are essentially bringing the world, bringing the people with us. We are walking in tandem with it. So we spiral up to the sky, up to the ascended universe where the gods or the highest spirits dwell. Essentially to eternity. We are promoting the growth. That is why trees grow upwards. It is amazing! But it is something that I encourage all of you to try. But without, putting too much into it, this is pretty much what Verdacéla is. So, thank you so much for listening. I do hope that you learned something, that you enjoyed what I was telling you, that you got to enjoy a little bit of what I did in Florida. I went to the beach. They don't get in the water. I wasn't visiting. I saw a dolphin in there. I know where you are. So I went. I'm not talking about Florida. That's over. That was the last video. But I sure hope all of you are taking these things into account, that you are learning something from my realm, that you are practicing in safety, that you are treating each other and other people that you know with kindness, with happiness, with love and affection. I ask the Great Spirit Pahadu to look after you, to give you a sense of self, a sense of purpose, if you need it. Perhaps some strength in your time of weakness, or perhaps wisdom in times when you're not sure what to do, like I am every other time I film these videos. Don't tell, I'm joking. But no, seriously, I hope you all have a nice day. I hope you all enjoy the summer. Verdacéla. I hope the summer solstice brings absolutely good things towards you. I hope all of you are, doing well, stay healthy, follow the guidelines, even though they're changing every now and then. People probably aren't getting the memo. Try to be as peaceful as you can, but still maintain a sense of self and dignity and power. As I send it to all of you as well. I'm sorry, I'm a little sad. I just want to leave. So, enjoy yourselves. Be kind to your pets, your brothers you're locking in cages. Be happy. And remember that life is a lot better than what you think it is. Try to find appreciation in things. A lot of these plants, a lot of these flowers, they sometimes grow in isolation, but they've learned to grow with life, with mana. Let Mana be the companion. Let Pahalu be the companion. Let me be the companion for all of you. I hope all of you have a blessed day, whatever your faith or your inclinations may be. And perhaps if you have a suggestion, something you want me to address, perhaps in a future video, please feel free to leave it in the comments. I love all of you. And remember to, make sure you're not wearing mismatching clothes, because you have to at least present some semblance of dignity. Okay, I'm looking at you. Goodbye.